Everyone, please welcome Favour and Jenika joining us this morning on Skype. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, this is exciting. We got a combo, a duo up here on Skype. Two in one. Oh my goodness. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the movie. Now, Riley, she has a generalized anxiety disorder. Jenika, explain more in depth about what she is being diagnosed with and how it really can affect a person.
She gets very anxious and emotional in lots of situations, mostly social situations. There's a lot of, physical aspects that come with that and anxiety. And I think a lot of people experience it more
Mm-hmm.
than you would know, or more than even they would know. Maybe they just think they're, overreacting or
Yeah.
whatnot. But especially with being in a sorority, she thinks that that might help with everything and finding a sisterhood and having that support, and really it kind of just turns on her and it makes it even worse, her anxiety and
Mm-hmm.
just you know the internal struggle. And that's why she finds Olivia so wonderful at first,
Yeah.
because she sort of helps her through that and kind of boosts her up and like encourages her to go out of her comfort zone, which is really important to her, is the
Mm-hmm.
comfort zone. But Olivia kind of pushes her out and gets her to do more things, which is something that she needs.
Absolutely. Now, Favour, you play Olivia in the movie, and Olivia
Yeah.
wants to get her start in journalism. Taking on this role, what are some of the things that you learn that journalists have to go through on a daily basis? As we all know, it's not an easy job to do.
No, it's not at all. I think it was very exciting to get this role to be someone who is very interested in the truth and finding things out.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could bring a lot of myself to it because I'm a very curious person. I want to know how, I want to know why, I want to know when. So I brought a lot of just my natural curiosity to the role. And yeah, I feel like that is what Olivia wants, and she ends up stumbling into a mystery, so her major and her natural interest sort of merge together and create this lovely story.
You know, Favour and Jenica, Shannon Doherty, in my opinion, is such a TV icon. How is it like to be able to be in her presence for this movie project?
She was great. She was a wonderful teacher, not in the sense that she'd like come up and be like, "Hey, here's a hot tip," but more in the sense that just her presence on set and how she worked with everyone and how she you know delivered everything. It was really inspiring to be around her. I remember like the first day and I was like, oh, I'm gonna meet Shannon today, I'm gonna meet Shannon today, and I was super nervous. But then I met her and we did our scene together, and it was the first time I'd even seen her. We just like stepped on the set and she was just so like, okay, we're gonna do this and it's gonna be like this and you're gonna be great. And I was like, oh wow. And so just like the nonverbal sort of experience that she
Mm-hmm.
had, I kind of like, was watching her and observing her, and in that way she was a fantastic teacher and role
Mm.
model.
How about for you, Favour?
Yeah, I concur with a lot of what you said because, like, I remember my first day on set, and then, like, the first scene, I got, like, shuffled into, like, a Tesla, which is cool. That's not a spoiler. And we're
Oh, that's
sitting
so
in the
cool.
Tesla, and there she is. She's Shannon Doherty sitting beside me, and I'm just like, okay, this is happening. This is crazy. And she's just so easygoing, and so, like, she just makes you feel so comfortable. And instantly, I was like, okay, this is going to be good because I was like, oh man, I don't know what to expect. Like, will I be good enough? You have all these thoughts racing in your head. And to have someone who's such a force to just be there with you and just be like, it's all good. Like, she just makes you feel so at ease. And as
Mm.
I went on to film, she was really great at actually giving me verbal advice. Like, I would come up to her and be like, how do you do it? Like, how I would ask her specific things on how she does what she does. And she would always just be so kind and be like, you know what, it takes a lot of years, it takes experience. And she was very specific in the advice she gave me. And I've like
Mm-hmm.
written them down. I wrote them in my little phone notes and I've really like
Oh.
held them to heart.
Oh, I love that. And by the way, I've seen her in Little House on the Prairie. Did you guys ever watch that before knowing that she was going to be part of a movie project with you guys?
Oh yes.
I loved Little House on the Prairie. Weirdly enough, I didn't like know she was on it because I watched it when I was younger. I didn't make that connection. Um, yeah, so I loved Little House on the
Mm.
Prairie.
Favor, we see hazing throughout this entire film. What are one of the craziest hazing challenges that you and Jenica had to do during the hazing process of the film?
Uh, yeah, okay. So I would say it's the day that I didn't have to do it, thankfully, like in the movie, but like in real life, Jenica had to do it where we had to be in ice water. They had to be in ice water.
I
Um,
saw that. That's crazy.
Yes, and it was actually like a cold, kind of rainy day here in Vancouver. And yeah, the actors were all phenomenal. And they just like to tell the story, you have to do the thing. You have to be sitting
Hmm.
in water and stuff. And I just was like, I was even shocked. It was very moving for me to see that we were just like we were fictionalizing what actually happens to real young people
Hmm.
in university, and it was really just it took me out of it to really witness it. I can't imagine anyone having to go through it in real life, you know?
Jenica, how cold was the water when you had to step in that like big pail bucket of like cold water? And then I think like in the movie they wanted one of the little girls to stay there for 10 minutes. I'm like, what? No, oh God, no. Mm-mm.
Um, well, actually, the water itself wasn't that cold, and the ice cubes were these little these rubber things. But we filmed it for 6 hours, and it went a little
Really?
longer than we were supposed to. But it also really made me think about like if this was a day in the life of a potential sorority
Hmm.
pledge, then that would be exactly what they'd be going through. They'd probably be putting them through all of these sort of crazy, crazy things. So it also really made me think about that. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Wow.
it was a fun
I think a lot of girls and guys that have been through hazing will be able to relate to this movie. And of course, anyone that hasn't been through, hazing, I think will really watch and sit back and say, wow, this is a real thing. And this is really sad that young adults have to go through something like this.
Yeah, it hurts like hell.
I mean, I hope it's not worse than hiking in the freezing rain. It's okay. I got this. Okay. What the hell?
Hey, Riley, if it's too much.
Support her. She doesn't need coddling. No, I can't. Are you a little competitive, Maya?
You still haven't beat my record.
10 minutes, 15 seconds, Maya.
I can't do another 10 minutes.
Now, Favour and Jenica, have you or anyone that you have personally known ever been, hazed before?
I think my mom had a friend when she was younger who went to this university out in some part of Canada. I don't remember which part, but she did talk about the actually one of the things that happened in the movie, the dryer thing, sitting on top of the dryer and holding your arms out and shaking to circle the fat. That one really got me because I was like, that's so demeaning and that's so terrible. And it's like these things have been happening for years and years and years because like the hazing protocols are like tradition now. Um, so that was a little too close.
You know what's interesting, Noah, is that in Nigerian culture, and I'm Nigerian, proudly Nigerian,
Yes.
in a lot of the boarding schools there, hazing is a way of life. So I
Really?
didn't live in Nigeria when, I was too young to have gone to boarding school, but it's very normal for a child to enter boarding school at age 10. And starting from age 10, you are hazed. So it's like you are forced to do very demeaning things, and people protect that system of hazing and abuse. So I think I kind of tapped into that because, like Jenica said, sororities and fraternities aren't as big in Canada,
Hmm.
but having that experience that even happens in my culture in Nigeria, it's really some of the things I've heard. It's hard to repeat because it's just abuse, you know?
Absolutely, it is. It's terrible. And last question I want to ask both of you before we have to wrap up our interview this morning is what is the message, the overall take that you want viewers to learn from this movie, Dying to Belong? We'll start off with you, Jenika.
The message that I would like people to take away from, especially my character Riley's experience, is that you never know what somebody around you is going through, especially in a university setting, in a school setting, even just in life. And some people may be too afraid to talk about it. Riley was too afraid to share with the other sorority girls because she thought that she would be excluded. And I feel like that's a lot of people who have mental illnesses. That's how they feel like. And I really wanted to push the message that, it's important to be aware and to be open and to be mindful of that, and to be wary of, people and who you tell as well, because you never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Favour?
that's awesome. I definitely agree with everything Jenika said. And to add to that, I think it's something that Olivia really believes in, is that she's not afraid to be herself and stand for what she believes in, even when it's not popular. Like, she's not the average sorority girl, so already she beats her own drum. And it's like, don't be afraid to be who you are and stick up for what you think is right. And she calls out the truth, even though it wouldn't make her popular and stuff. So just stand for what you believe in. And if you see something that's not right, speak out.
Absolutely. I love this. What a great conversation that we had about this movie. Favour and Jenika, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here at iHollywood TV. Everyone, be sure to tune in to Dying to Belong. It premieres October the 9th at 8/7 Central on Lifetime. You get to see these two fabulous ladies in the movie. They do a terrific job. Well, you guys take care and have a good day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Noah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet y'all.